Raider ReACTION is for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
It's another beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And in case you haven't been here before, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman and a scholar. You'll always find him on the corner. He's as well as a man of commerce. Make sure you slip him a little something, something. He'll point you in the right direction. You're going to go down the street and then take a right. And then a left. And as you're strolling down the street, you're going to pass a deep, dark, creepy-ass alley to your right. As you stroll by it, you feel a cool breeze that chills you to your skeletal core. Is it the autumn wind? Well, of course it is. Should you venture down that deep, dark alley? Well, you goddamn right. Because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, it's the Raider Nation Report. With yours truly, a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. And there is a lot of everything silver and black to talk about. That's for sure. Where do we begin? I'm sure you all have a list of topics. Just know, I will probably hit every damn one of them. So sit back, spend 60 minutes with me, and let's talk some silver and black. Because even though it's an absolute dumpster fire, it is still what we love. Regardless. So, where do we begin? Let's start in London, shall we? Because other than my instant reaction after the fact, which a lot of you have seen, I've now had a couple 48 hours now to digest what happened, assess what happened, analyze what the fuck is going on, try to analyze what's going on, try to make some sort of sense. And so we'll start in London. Now, first off, first thing I would like to say about the London game. First thing, very, very first thing. And I want to get this out. It is straight bullshit that the Raiders had to go to London and play in the same time slot and be lined up against all of the other games in the early game. That was straight bullshit. The team that is playing this week, the game that is going on this week in London, they get the early game. You can tune in 9:30 Eastern time, and it'll be the only game. It'll be pro mode. It'll be the only game you can watch in that time slot. So it gets its own special little feature and everything. We just got thrown in with the rest of the fucking games. No special television fucking airing, nothing. What kind of bullshit is that? That's some straight up bullshit right there. That's some slanted shit towards the silver and black if I ever seen it. Now, on top of all that, we played like shit. I mean, do we really need to go into it? I mean, how many more details you want to go into it? We've been talking about him playing like shit for the last, several weeks? You know, barring the come from behind win against the Browns, which, they played like shit half that game too. So, we don't need to go into all that. I would rather go into how we got there. How did we get there? In 2016, we were a 12-4 team, a playoff team, and minus an injury to Derek Carr, we were a team where we didn't know where the the road was going to be in 2016. Minus what happened on Christmas Eve against the Colts, we didn't know where that season was going to end. So, we decided to make a change because we thought, or somebody thought, they had the brilliant idea that we had the next young gun fucking offensive coordinator in the wings, in the making, in Todd Downing, which turned out to be an absolute fucking dumpster fire in its own right. So they got rid of Musgrave, made all the changes with an offense that was clicking from a 12-4 team, and that blew up in our face in 2017. We added all of the holes, filled all the roster holes, increased the talent base across the board, brought in Jared Cook, made all kinds of moves to bolster the team in every area that needed done in 2017. But we made mistakes at who we had at coordinators. So coming into 18, we decided, fuck it. We'll just scratch the whole coaching staff, and we'll put together a new coaching staff. Because, Mark Davis had this little twinkle in his eye for John Gruden for quite some time, apparently, and it was at all cost he was going to get him. At all cost. And at all cost, we know what the cost was. All cost was right. So now we have, supposedly, the coaching staff that we should have had in 17 to go with the team we had in 16. And we're just going to make 17 a wash, right? Gruden came in. He said all the right things in the press conference. Derek Carr's a great quarterback. Love having Khalil Mack. He said all the right things. He said all the right things in his press conference as the new guy coming in. Why? Because at that point, you're really nothing more than a sports politician. You're just there to tell the fans what they need to hear at that time. You're not showing your hand. You're not showing shit. At that point, you're just there to tell the fans what they want to hear. And what the fans want to hear is, we've got all the guys on the roster to make a run. Da, 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 da. Now, that doesn't appear to be the case or the plan that John Gruden has for the long haul for 2019, for the first year, the inaugural year in Las Vegas, 2020. That does not seem to be the plan he has in mind. He's come in, he gets rid of Khalil Mack, he's basically gutted the roster. Amari Cooper is reportedly up for a fire sale. Apparently we want a first-round pick for him, which is like basically me going and buying a new car, driving it for a couple of years, not really liking how it performs, putting a bunch of miles on it, and then trying to sell it for the sticker price I bought it for. Who the fuck's dumb enough to pay that? I mean, I guess you ask high, but don't ask so ridiculously high that everybody steps away from the table. You think that strategy works? Go ask Navarro Bowman how that strategy works. When you come to the table so fucking high, everybody says, whoa. I'll call you. Yeah, well, guess what? When they make that move, they don't fucking call you. So, coming into 2018, I have to ask you, Raider Nation. I have to ask you, did you honestly believe this team needed completely rebuilt from top to bottom? Did you not believe that we had a good enough offense to win some games and make a little noise in the AFC West? Did you not believe that in your heart of hearts? Because I did. I didn't believe this team needed gutted. I didn't believe this roster needed taken out back behind the shop and fucking just fucking tore the fuck apart. We had holes on defense that we needed to fix. We had a good offensive line. We had a solid receiving staff. We'd added Jared Cook. Our running back stable was solid. We'd brought in Chris Warren III as our rookie project. We've got our supposed $125 million franchise quarterback. We had all the pieces of the puzzle. We had the heart and core of our defense that we were supposed to be building around for a future. We all believed we still had a shot this year. We believed what John Gruden told us in the spring when he was signed. That this is a good team. I'm coming on. I'm happy to have all this. Now, action since then, since politician Gruden, coach politician, because that's what you say. When you get the new job, you just step up to the mic and you say everything you're supposed to say. And it's like basically like a rah-rah fucking pep rally. That's all it is. But then he trades Khalil Mack for future picks. Obviously looking down the road. He releases Martavis Bryant, brings him back. He's now released Derek Johnson, who was the complete John Gruden bring-in. Your typical John Gruden veteran player that he likes to bring in and sprinkle about his roster. Did not work out. Blew up in his face, now released. Cabinda's been bringing up. Do you not find it interesting that in week 4 Garyon Conley single-handedly is responsible for 8 points in the game as he takes a pick six for a touchdown, defends a 2-point conversion. They're thus single-handedly been involved in 6 points of the game. 8 points of the game. If you don't think that's odd that in week 5 you see Garyon Conley only get, what, like 17% of the snaps? That Daryl Worley gets most of it. He comes in, and all of a sudden, coming off suspension, he's now the starter. And Conley sits after his best week he's ever had. Don't you think your number one pick, you'd want to build on that? That you'd want to build the kid up? That you'd want to have him on the field a little bit in week 5 after he had the best goddamn week he ever had as a pro? Don't you think you'd want to put him back out on the field? Don't you think? Hell, wouldn't you want to put him back on the field to, if anything else, build his fucking trade stock? This is live as a motherfucker, my man. Yes, it is. And thank you all for joining me. Each and every one of you, new and old. We always appreciate you joining us on RAIDER ReACTION. Our band of pirates, thank you. Without you all, we would be nothing. You bring in Worley off suspension, and you bench Conley. Basically, bench Conley. And then, now, Rashawn Melvin, who has been one of the bright spots at points on defense, now you bench him. And now you're starting Rodgers, Cromartie, and Worley. And how did that work out for you in London? You can't just keep playing with shit. At some point, you got to stick some guys out there and let some continuity, let some guys gel. Let some guys gel. Interesting. Conley got burnt several times against the Chargers. He was on the field for 0% of the snaps. I don't know which Garrett Conley you were seeing, but he was not on the field this week. So you didn't see him get burnt too much this week. You did against the Chargers a couple times, yes. But, like I said, he was only in that game like 17% of the snaps. You can't not give these guys an opportunity. This guy didn't even get on the field in year 1. But a handful of snaps. Now he has his best performance, and you're going to cut his legs off. I don't understand that. I like the fact that we saw a lot of more Marquel Lee. That equaled into the exit of Derek Johnson, which that was an experiment that wasn't going nowhere. But all of this leads me to these questions with John Gruden. Is the gutting of the roster, are a lot of these decisions somewhat ego-driven? John Gruden's only Super Bowl is somewhat of a dirty, tainted Super Bowl. It's dirty and tainted in several different reasons. He took down a team that he basically knew the playbook of. He took down a team he had a lot of inside knowledge of. And he won it with a team that wasn't his. Wasn't assembled by him. With a defense that wasn't his. Wasn't assembled by him. Was run by Monty Kiffin. And wasn't his. And he just managed an offense and got it through. And ended up having to play a team that he had ungodly knowledge of at the end. So he's got a championship, but it's a dirty championship. And after that, other than one season with the Bucks, he really wasn't shit. He really wasn't. And he got rode out. He with a barely over 500 record as a head coach. Now, John Gruden strikes you as the type of guy who stands in the room of his peers and believes he's the smartest man in the room. Whether he is or not. And you can see it on his face and you know that he thinks it. I'd rather have the guy that's the smartest guy in the goddamn room and nobody knows it. And he knows it. But he don't need you to know it. I want that guy. Because I don't know what he's in it for this time. You know? The first go round, he's the youngest head coach ever. He's got all the fire in the world because it's him against the world. It was a whole different thing when you're in your mid-30s. And you're now in your mid-50s. Trust me. I ain't the same in my mid-40s as I was in my mid-30s, let alone my mid-50s. Not even close. To think that he's the same guy. Is he gutting the team? Because he has his eye on Vegas. And he only wants to do it with his team. This is his last go round. And he probably knows it. Because when he's going to ride this one out, no, but I'm just wondering, and you know, I'm just asking questions. I'm just thinking out loud. Because I was thinking about this earlier. The biggest knock on him with his Super Bowl is that he did it with Dungy's team. Does this time around, does he want 100% make sure it's with his guys, his team, his way, and he's going to gut this son of a bitch down to the bare bones and build it his way or no way? And I'm afraid that that's the way he's going to go about it. I don't think it needed to happen like that. We got to keep in mind, Derek Carr, $125 million contract. I ain't got John Gruden's name on that bitch nowhere. He didn't sign off on nothing. He's not a John Gruden guy. Wasn't drafted by John Gruden. Wasn't given his big contract by John Gruden. Khalil Mack wasn't a Gruden guy. See where he went. There's a hell of a lot more truth to the Mari Cooper rumors than there isn't. I can guarantee you that. There's a whole lot more truth to those rumors than there isn't. You don't think John Gruden doesn't like the fact this guy's dropping balls, he's inconsistent? You don't think he's making mental notes about what his quarterback's doing? The poor decisions he's made this season? If you can't see that 2018 wasn't in his sights at all, I don't know what to tell you. It obviously wasn't. Did I think we were going to the playoffs this year? Fair question, Chris. It was possible. The team was not that bad. Was not that bad. Was it a Super Bowl team? No. No. But with the moves that were made in the last year and the guys that were brought in this year, with this Paul Guenther scheme that was supposed to be brought in, that was supposed to make mediocre linebackers look like superstars, like he did Vontaze Burfict, all of that, how he was supposed to revamp the defensive back scheme. There was a little hope this season. The Broncos were down. The Broncos are what they are. The Chargers were supposed to be down this year. The Chiefs were going to the Mahomes era. You could be somewhat optimistic that there was a little hope this season. They were going to catch the lightning in the bottle that they caught in 2016. But the reality of the matter is that 2016 is looking more like a fluke, more like the anomaly, that we're just back to, unfortunately, being a team that has a coach that thinks he's the smartest man in the room. And I don't know if he is. I know he thinks he is, which scares the shit out of me. Because I don't know if he is. Because if you look at his record and you look at his history, he started out on fire quick. But he didn't stay at the top. He came down quickly and left. He's been gone a long time. And if you go back in NFL history, what happens typically when you try to go back and grasp past glory of a coach? What happens? What happens? Typically, they don't ever find it again. I agree, John, 100%, and I've mentioned that several times, that a handful of plays in 2016, and we're not in the playoffs. Those games are the games that last year we lost. This year we're losing. We're not winning close games at the end. We're making bad decisions. We're making bad throws. Those are little things. The reality of what we have is we are now a 1-5 team. There was a possibility the Broncos game could have been ours. The Dolphins game could have been ours. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, ifs. They really mean nothing. The only thing that matters is the W's in the win column. That's all that really matters. And we didn't get them. So once we didn't start to get them, things changed. And now the focus has changed. And you've seen the shift of focus, unfortunately, in London. How do you script the beginning of your game and you come out with 3 straight scripted runs? Thump, thump, thump. Punt. Seriously? And in your script, didn't you have something if the first 2 didn't fucking go nowhere? Isn't there like a plan B written in this plan? Like if situation A happens after play 1, we do this. If situation B happens after play 2, we do this. Isn't there some sort of contingency plan? Or is just like, fuck it, we're running these 3 plays right at the gate, and it's either going to work or not. And if it don't work, fuck it, we'll punt. The other team already scored. Well, wasn't that in the contingency plan? I mean, seriously. This isn't remedial. I mean, come on. I script my fucking first Madden plays fucking better than that shit. I don't go out and go bang, bang, bang up the middle. Who the hell does that? My 12-year-old don't do that shit in Madden. But we do. We do on a slick, wet fucking field. Against an O-line that's got 2 rookie tackles and a backup guard. And we're missing our Pro Bowler. I mean, come on. I don't see the dynamic offense. I don't see the offensive guru. And listen, John Gruden and the now myth of John Gruden has somewhat grown and been perpetuated by the media. Because, like I said, his Super Bowl's dirty. And he just dived really after that with 1 good year behind Chris Sims, who was his big quarterback project that blew up in his face along with some Brian Greasy action that year. And then he goes in the booth in Monday Night Football. And they give him cute little segments with his little quarterback club, and, you know, and he goes and sits in a fucking room, and, you know, and with a little table, and, you know, has these little talks, and he's a quarterback guru, and it's cute little segments and stuff, but, you know, the fact of the matter is, he never developed a quarterback. He's never proven he's a quarterback guru. He wasn't no quarterback guru to Rich Gannon. All he was a guy that finally trusted Rich Gannon and gave him the goddamn shot that he well deserved. Rich Gannon got fucked when they went to Elvis Gerbach in Kansas City, and he just got a coach that gave him a chance. He didn't develop Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon was an MVP and needed a coach to have his back, and that's what he got. He tried developing a quarterback in Chris Sims. Didn't work. Tried several others in Tampa Bay. Didn't work. So now he's the quarterback guru because they give him a special segment on Monday Night Football, and he sits and talks to every quarterback for the team that's playing on Monday. I mean, come on. That's just fucking show filler for the pregame. That's all that is. But you know what? There's a whole generation of fans and NFL fans and Raider fans that grew up, and the only thing they know about John Gruden is what they've seen on Monday Night Football. And they see that, oh, John Gruden's a fucking genius, man. John Gruden's a genius. Watch him. He's telling all these guys how to do it, and they're all asking his advice, and he's a genius. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I wonder if the myth of John Gruden has grown more than the reality of what John Gruden is in his mid-50s on his second go-around. We'll see. We will see. Because, exactly, Gabe, he became almost a caricature, almost a cartoon of his Chucky image. He played it up, man. You had the Gruden Grinders. I mean, come on. They played that shit up. They played up the character of Chucky, of the growling young John Gruden on the sidelines. They took it and they made those segments and made the character that he is. And somehow that illusion of that character and that character, Jesus Christ. My tongue quit working. I hate when that happens. But you take that character and you think that's going to be on the sideline. I tell you what, man, I don't see the same Gruden that I used to see prowling the sideline in the games in the early 90s. I don't. But it is what it is, man. He's the coach now. And regardless of what I think, or regardless of the route we're taking, I just wish, if this was going to be a rebuilding year, man, I wish they would have come out and said it right out of the gate. Hey! Chris! I got something for you. It's a fire sale too. It's free. You can have it. Listen, I can ask questions as much as I want about the team that I support and follow and put my loyalty behind for 40 plus years. So, I need to find a new team? Why? Because I don't think John Gruden's the answer? I hope he proves me wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But percentages that I'm not are pretty fucking good, and they're in my favor. I'm just saying. I'm speaking the truth too. chances that I'm right are much greater than I'm wrong. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the hell I'm wrong. I hope John Gruden is the goddamn genius that he believes he is. I hope that he is everything that they made him out to be with his Gruden grinders and his quarterback camp and everything they made him out to be. I hope he is all of that and a fucking bag of chips. I hope to hell. Because right now, what I see is him taking the team that I love out behind the fucking shed out back and gutting it like a fucking deer. That's what I see. I hope he's right. I hope to hell he's right. Because what I see right now is a team that shouldn't be 1-5. That's not a roster that's the worst roster in football. But we have a record that's the worst record in football. So, we'll see what happens. I don't think it was necessary to the extent that we're going with the roster changes. Now, along with the Cooper rumors, you also got Carl Joseph rumors. Now, why Carl Joseph? What has Carl Joseph not proven for John Gruden other than he's not healthy? Is something happened behind the scenes? I understand Cooper. If you're coming in and you don't see him as your number one going forward. I can see the argument for Cooper because he's had his drop issues. He's had all that. And John Gruden's had a front row seat to watching it. We're only the oldest roster, Michael, because John Gruden made us that way. That's it. He brought in a guy like Derek Johnson that he's already cut 6 weeks into the season. You got guys like Bruce Irvin, who has no fire left. He's just worried about going home after the game and banging his old lady. I mean, he's not concerned about losing. He's like, fuck it, I'm done at the end of the year anyway. I'm just getting paid, man. Let me clock out. Time to go home. He don't give a shit. This team has no heart. I don't know what has happened. I don't know what has happened. I honestly don't. It's been somewhat of a mind-numbing season. I mean, did I expect Super Bowl this season? God, no. There's way too much turnover. The roster was an upheaval. But when you looked at what the rest of the AFC West looked like, it wasn't insane to think that we could be in the middle of the pack, be in a wild card discussion, middle of the way through the season. Not sitting 6 weeks in, 10 games to go. 10 games to go. 10 games. What did we come out with? 2 weeks we play the Colts at home. What kind of fire do we come out with in 2 weeks? I mean, please. At some point, somewhere, please. God damn it. At some point, somewhere, please. Find a heart. Somewhere. Find a pulse. Beaten. Remember why you started playing football. Please. Remember back in Pee Wee when it was fun? Why don't you try that? Because nothing else is working. Come on, Bree. That shit didn't work last time. Nice try, though, and I appreciate your fortitude. And that guy? I'm still dreaming wild card too, because, all right, here's the bottom line. Because let's get to it. Because now it's my time. My time of the show, I get to blow sunshine up your ass. And sunshine and rainbows, and tell you that everything's gonna be all right, because that's what I'm supposed to do as a good fan page host and show host. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to come on here and tell you it's all gonna be sunshine and rainbows and there's going to be little unicorns dancing on the horizon, and Raiderettes are going to be singing the autumn wind as we ride off into the sunset, carrying the Lombardi Trophy in the end of 2018. That's what I'm supposed to tell you, right? That would make me a good fan, right? To be unrealistic, that would make me a good fan. Then I'd be okay, right? I mean, that's what what's-his-name was saying. I should go get another team because, I have an opinion about my team sucking. So, this is the part of the show where I'm going to tell you where it's going to be alright. So, we come out, we play the Colts at home after the bye. It's possible. We could win that game. Neckbeard they ain't nothing. He's not got a lot of people around him. T.Y. Hilton's banged up. They're not a great team. So it's winnable. You got the 49ers. The 49ers just about damn near beats the Packers. Beathard hasn't looked bad. He's got his old hookup from Iowa. It hasn't looked bad. But we should be able to beat them as well. Then we got to come back home and play the Chokers again. Now, they're ranked in the top 10 in the NFL right now. Thank you, Pero Loco. And, man, listen, if you can come out and show me against the Colts and the Niners and put back-to-back wins there, and you're sitting at 3-5, and now you're staring the Chokers in the eye in Oakland at home, I'll make a goddamn argument that you got a chance. That you have a pulse. And there's a chance in hell. Because at 10-6, there's a chance in hell. And at 9-7, there's still a little chance. So, I will never, ever, ever, ever bury my team until they are mathematically eliminated. Why? Because it's sports. And every single season, every single day, every single week in sports, small miracles happen. You hear an announcer say, "That's never happened before. I've never seen that before. That's never been done before." You hear it every season, every week, every game, in one way, shape, or another. It's sports. Minor miracles and major miracles happen all the time. All the time. There's never been a team that's come from down for 3-0 to win the finals. Never's been a team that's come... You've heard it all. Never been a team that's come from 1-5 and made the playoffs. In sports, you can never, ever, ever say never until you are mathematically eliminated. So, as much as there's a possibility, Kristen, that we could go 1-15, there's as much a possibility that we could go 11-5 and run the table. Unlikely? Very. Highly improbable? Very. Impossible? Never, ever, ever in sports. Nothing is ever impossible. If you were greeting Buster Douglas on the way to the ring when he was going to face Mike Tyson, what would you tell him? Bro, you ain't got a chance in hell. Clench hard on that mouth guard so you don't lose any teeth. And what happened? We wake up to fucking clippings from around the world that, holy fuck, a fight that nobody even was really paying attention to ended up being one of the biggest upsets in sports history. Any given Sunday, the Jets were never supposed to beat the Colts. Way back when, in a Super Bowl, it's never supposed to happen. United States hockey team was never supposed to beat the Russians. Miracles happen all the time in sports. You can never ever count a team out. So I won't count my team out ever. But I tell you what, man, this season is not the season it should have been. It's not the season it needed to be. And I think, I honestly believe it's somewhat ego-driven. Now, I hope it works out. I always hope it works out. And no matter, I'm never always going to agree with everything that is done. Why would that ever happen? But I'm always hope that, you know, whether I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, man, that was a fucked up move. I'm still going to hope it works out because that's the best and the benefit of the team. I want to see it work out. But man, there's been some screwy ass moves. The benching of both our quarters and just throwing 2 new guys in. Derek Johnson gone already. Martavius Bryant's a bust in training camp. He's lazy. He's got headaches. Won't come out and practice or cut him. Then we bring him back. I just don't. I don't understand. The Garyon Conley, he has the best game ever, and then you don't support him and try to get him in. He doesn't even see the field last week. How's he not even see the field? Him and Nick Nelson did not even see the field on the defensive side of the ball. Those are basically, I mean, Conley's basically a rookie because he didn't play the year before. How do you not even get them out on the field? When you see you're getting torched out there. I don't understand some of these moves. I don't understand them. I just don't. Whoever called his name, you're bastards. Freaking Steveljuice. Now I gotta have to mess with him the rest of the show. Way to go, Hot Neil. Way to go. I think it was you. It's just, I think it bothers us more this go round only because it was such a long period of darkness where we came out and finally seen the light in 2016 and we're like, we gotta bask in it a little bit. And we're like, fuck, man, this is great. I love my team being the talk of the league every week, and you know, this is fucking great. We got used to it. We're like, shit, man, I really missed this. This is great. Then 2017 was like a smack in the face. Like, shit, man. Kind of took 2016 for granted. Like, you know, this was just something that was going to happen every year. We got to get shit correct. And to see the bottom fucking fall out again. I think as a whole, we're somewhat collectively losing our minds as fans and as a fan base. And you know what? At some point, it's okay to vent and to hold your team accountable. I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars you guys have spent supporting this team. I know I've spent a shitload. My entire fucking house, memorabilia, my kids' clothing, mine, fucking tickets, trips. I mean, at some point, the love that we give the Shield, the love that we give the field and everything silver and black, the love that we give that, it's got to come back. At some point, it's got to come back. That's all we ask. We'll wait long periods of time. But at some point, we got to feel it back. And the only way we can feel that back is by giving us the W's. It's the only way. The only way. And was John Gruden just the shiny toy that Mark Davis wanted, that the rich kid wanted, and was going to go get at all costs? That's your biggest question. Or was he really the guy that we needed? it's such... Oh, it's not just the coach. It's how the coach meshes with the quarterback. There's just so many dynamics that goes into building a championship team beyond just the man at the helm. Of course, he's got a lot to do with it, but it's so much goes into it. So much goes into it. I just have a lot of question. I just have a lot of question. I really, really do. And I think the nation as a whole, the Raider Nation as a whole, we're just left. Did we think we were a Super Bowl team? Not with that much change for this year. No, I don't think anybody thought that. But there was a lot of change across the entire AFC West, all the teams, that we could be in the mix, not be trash. We're looking like, man, the last game just looked like we didn't have any heart. Like we just left it in the States. Like we just checked out. Like we're like, I'm gonna go home and bang the wife. Bruce Irvin. He's like, yeah, I look like shit. Fuck it. Let me clock out. Is that the kind of attitude you want the players on the team you're rooting for? No way, man. I want you to hurt after you lose. I want you to feel it in your fucking soul. It should mean something to you. You're a professional athlete, man. You are paid a lot of fucking money to go out there and lay it on the line for that small block of time and give it all for your team. And if you're not disgusted at the end of a game like that, then I don't even know what the fuck to say. Then what are you playing for? Just the check? Because if that's the case, that's sad. Because the check's going to be there regardless. Be great. You have talent like people like myself and most of the people watching would give anything to have. And, time to clock out. Fuck it. I'm out. Now make sure you join me tomorrow night as it goes to the post every Wednesday. As Prime joins me, the Raider Reaction resident sports guru, as we rip through all the games for Week 7 and make our picks. As we rip through how we did last week making our picks. And I tanked last week, the week before, so I really hope I did all right. I need the games for ground on Prime. So make sure you join us tomorrow night. Also, first thing, tomorrow morning when you wake up on the dark side. Captain Spaulding, welcome you to the captain's quarters. 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern in the morning. Start your morning on the dark side. Captain Spaulding, talking everything silver and black. Start the morning with him, then end it with me. Now, of course, I like to end every one of my shows with a special little segment that I like to call the WTF. Oh, James, I got you. Don't you? I got special. Now, WTF. I'm going to keep it Raider this go round. Now, the NFL has made a point, a big point, to protect the receivers, defenseless receiver penalties, targeting penalties, leading with the head penalties, shots to the head penalties. I mean, if you breathe on them and your breath stink penalties, if you lean a little too close to them penalties, you brush by them, anything, you even look at the fucking receiver wrong. You looked at him mean, it's a fucking flag. Explain to me how I haven't seen the big ass fine, the suspension, and there were no flags on Amari Cooper basically getting separated from all consciousness. Is it maybe because of the shield on the side of his helmet? The fact he wears silver and black? Maybe got a little something to do with it. It always seems like shit gets a little fucking slanted. There's just always some bullshit when it comes to the Raiders. You know, there's always some fucking stupid index card or some fucking tuck rule or some dumb fucking shit fucking us. And now, you're not even going to protect our receivers when they go out there and straight get led with the head, targeted, defenseless receiver. I mean, it was like the cornucopia of penalties you could have called, and you didn't call a one. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Not one? Guy thought, throw a fucking flag? Are you kidding me? Bullshit. Straight bullshit. Monday, right after the bye week, we are kicking off 2 contests, and we will announce it that Monday. We are kicking off Meme Monday, which will be a weekly contest for the team that we will be playing. Whoever has the most fire meme by the end of Friday, we will name a winner on Black Friday, and that winner will get a Raider Reaction prize pack every week. And then we're also kicking off a large contest the Monday after the bye week. And we will announce the winner on Thanksgiving Day, while you're having to watch those other shitty teams play. So it gives you something to look forward to. Because we're thankful for all of you. And this is going to be the biggest Raider Reaction prize pack we have ever given away. Period. So make sure you tune in the Monday after the bye week. We'll give you a little something to look forward to, at least. And we got another raffle coming up very soon, Andrew. Very, very soon. I just busted out all the stuff for the next 2 raffles. So we got another Reaction Shop raffles coming up. So we're going to be giving away some stuff. You'll be able to get cheap raffle tickets to get in to win a chance for some sweet Raider swag, some sweet Raider Reaction swag, all that good stuff. So, even though the team's not giving us nothing, us at Raider Reactions can give you a little something. How big? Now, Jukebox, I can't tell you that. What would be... There's no suspense in that. Thank you all for joining me. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Our band of pirates, thank you. As always, we would be nothing without you. I'd just be some schmuck talking to the wall. Thank you for joining us. Make sure, tomorrow morning, 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome you to the Captain's Quarters. Start your morning on the dark side with Captain Spaulding. Start out your morning every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure you check out the Reaction Shop. Get your Raider Reaction gear. There's a lot of other vintage NFL stuff in there as well. You can pay securely through our PayPal account. I will see you tomorrow night, right here, same Raider time, same Raider channel, with the resident Raider Reaction resident sports guru Prime, as it goes to the post every Wednesday as we rip through all the games, make our picks right here with you, as you make the picks in the comments with us. Thank you, each and every one of you. Our band of pirates, I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.